Hey everybody, this is DM Mike, and this is a quick impromptu video concerning some of my prep for Rise of Tiamat. So, this is off the cuff. It's not quite really planned out, but I just wanted to get this out here. If you're a player in my campaign, go ahead and just ignore this video. Watch it maybe 2 weeks from now, 3 weeks from now, or something like that. Otherwise, you're going to continue to spoil your own time and adventure. Anyway, so the prep for Rise of Tiamat. I've been doing this for like a month and a half now, and one of my goals has been to scale down how much technology I use and how much stuff I bring to the table that's sitting in front of me while I'm playing as DM. And a lot of people got different methods and whatnot, but one thing I've adopted pretty heavily for this new adventure for Rise of Tiamat that we're going to be playing probably for the next year is Google Slides. And I found it to be pretty advantageous. I'm going to go ahead and hit the present here, and I'm just going to do a full screen. So this is what I did. I'm playing on a laptop right now, and this laptop will be attached to a 55-inch TV that'll be floating above me where all the characters, or I guess all the players, can see it pretty easily. And this is how I set things up. I have a title screen when players walk in. I hit the next button, and we do kind of a character introduction. These are all the players and their characters in the campaign. I got two new people at the very end there, the Knight and the Druid. And we're going to spend just maybe 5 minutes just introducing characters because of the new people, right? We got to incorporate the new people into this huge campaign. And when it comes to character introductions, I do not like players going into backstories. I feel like that's a role-playing moment. You don't need to be talking about that. All you need to do is introduce your character. You don't even have to talk about the class. That's something else that can be discovered in game. But the character, its name, maybe a little bit of personality quirks or what their personality is like, and that's really about it. I don't like to spend a lot of time on that. So this is one method. As you can see here, this will be on the 55-inch screen, and people can see who's who and who's talking and what the character looks like. Next, I do a lot of radio drama work, which I can explain in the videos. If you're on my channel, you'd already know what I'm talking about. But this is the Song of Stones. This sets up the next radio drama, the opening radio drama. And then what I like to do is just have, let's say, the stars of the radio drama up on the screen for everybody to see. So they know they have some kind of visual reference of who's in the radio drama. So Varam, Severin, and Wrath, and this is the environment that they're in, right? That just helps give some visual for everybody as we're sitting there quiet in the dark with some torchlight going and listening to the radio drama. And then, of course, I will do the next one, which is a tone piece, which sets up a city. And right now I've got Waterdeep, and it's like 1 minute and 10 seconds. It's kind of like a radio drama. It's set to music and effects and narration. That's pretty much it, just setting up the environment. And while that's going, I'll have some images of Waterdeep for people to look at. Most people know what Waterdeep looks like, but every once in a while you get new players who maybe have not experienced it. Next on the slide is the council. Now this is the big thing. A lot of people, look, there's 60 different ways to run the council session, which is chapter 1 right out of the gate of Rise of Tiamat. People have used cards. People only use like one person to run the council, which is pretty much what I'm going to do. But I decided just to pick and choose just a few. Leosland's not really kind of part of the council, but he'll be there. But I picked 5 people, which may, for some people, may be too much as it is. Maybe you're best set with 2 or 3, and you can still have that one person speaking for the council. But this is how I'm kind of tackling it. I'm putting it up on a slide, again, on a huge screen, and every time I reference a character, people will know exactly who I'm talking about. So I'm talking about, if I'm using Onthar, well, they know exactly who he looks like and a little bit about his personality. Well, not his personality. I kind of avoided that. I didn't want that up there. But just, what order. Okay, if I can get this out of there. Exit full screen. No, I don't want to do that. Okay. But, let's go up here. Wild Elf Fighter, King of Misty Forest, the king, right? So they have an idea of who's who. So that kind of solves that problem for me. And if you want to do this, Google Slides, most of us have a Gmail account. This is a good way to do this. If you're using, kind of TVs, flat screen TVs to help with your presentation, or even with your iPad. I'm sure your iPad could probably use Google Slides. Anyway, this is how I'm doing it, guys. If you're kind of figuring out how do I do this council, if you're doing it with 1 or 2 or just 3, or maybe you're doing all of them, a good way to do this is to hook up the slides. And lastly, after that, they go to the docks, and as you can see, I've got some shots of the docks. I got shots of the Frost Skimmer, and then finally, one of the shots of the captains. I like to have visual reference for NPCs. And right now, that's about as far as I really want to go. That's all I've got planned. There's other things that are going to happen before the story beats of Chapter 1 happen. But this is it, guys. I just wanted to share this. This is part of my prep. I've often used Google Slides for choose your own adventure style questions at the table where the group is together and I present them with a scenario and they choose an outcome and something happens, right? But now I'm kind of using it more as an all-encompassing kind of thing where it's going to start the adventure, it'll be a part of the adventure. Anytime I need to show a character, it'll be there on a slide, and it'll be very easy to do. So I'm going to try it this Friday and see how it goes. I've definitely used it before, but I've never used it to this large of a capacity. All right, guys, that's some of the prep. This is like 10% of the prep. The other chunks of it were the radio dramas and the outlines and a bunch of other stuff. And I'll share that a little bit later. I also wanted to get this out the door as an impromptu kind of thing. If you're kind of struggling or you're like, how do I represent or show all this visual stuff or make the council a little bit easier to follow, Google Slides can be your friend. All right, guys, that's it. That's all I got for you. And I guess I'll see you in the next one.